They say if your dreams don't scare you, then they're definitely too small. You need to dream big and work hard to make it happen. You just need to have the courage to pursue yours. First, you ought to think. Second, believe. Third, dream. And finally, dare. And dare they did. A group of friends dreamt of revolutionizing medical training and produce competent health workers for the local and international market. International makes you wonder whose idea this was exactly, right? Hey, don't come at me. I'm just the narrator. So how the heck were they going to beat a system that they've been in for almost half their lives? Well, first, they needed to surround themselves with people who believed in their dream, encouraged their ideas, supported their ambitions, and occasionally challenged them to see things in a different perspective. So, lucky them, they found different partners and collaborators from Kenya and worldwide. Secondly, they needed to identify a serene environment that will be ideal to build a school. Hence, plans commenced for the search of the promised land. Now, who would rescue our heroes? Who?
I will.
That guy did. Give it up to Mr. Karisa Wanje. The late Mr. Karisa Wanje sold them his land. Beautiful is an understatement. The search was finally over. Our heroes had finally found an impeccable vicinity to actualize their objective. Yep, they were almost there. I'm guessing that's how they felt. Now came the actual work. Building and finding students and parents who were willing to take a chance on newbies in the medical industry. A big shout out to CHPK, now commonly known as CHPF, who facilitated funds to sponsor students, and to the first cohorts who gambled with NCMTC, who believed in the dreams of dreamers. We wouldn't be here if it weren't for you guys. Now fast forward to the year 2022, 10 years down the line. How has the journey been? I asked, and they had this to say.
I've been a teacher here since the college started. That is 10 years ago, and I could see there is a very big growth that is taking place in the institution in terms of teachers, in terms of number of students, and in terms of infrastructure. So the college started, we had one course that is clinical medicine, but now we have 8 departments so far as compared from where we started. So the growth has been tremendously big enough. We have gone a notch higher. We have started having specialized courses, including in nursing, nephrology, clinical medicine, nephrology. We have point of care ultrasound. We have health professional education, and all this from the basis from where we have started until now where we are. And we are hoping that we shall grow more, and we'd like to have more students to support also other growth, because for us we rely on the students' perspective.
The journey from 2012, when I entered North Coast Medical Training College as a student, to now as a tutor, I think it has been interesting and eye-opening, a lot of learning at every stage. We were the pioneers of this college. There was a lot of anxiety as to what we are going to get here, because we were the first ones, so nobody to really learn from in terms of experience, and the system was very new, so we were the first people to start here with the competency-based training system. And 3 years down the line, I graduated with a diploma in clinical medicine and surgery. Through my career now, since 2017, when I came back as a mentor, up to now, I've grown considerably and consistently in terms of teaching and teaching techniques, and even also in terms of experience, because of course I've been teaching here and also getting experience in different hospitals where I practice as a clinical officer. And it's really been satisfying to see students grow through our hands when they enter as amateurs until the time they exit, and you can sit with that student and you discuss and you see truly this is now a competent health worker. To me, it gives me a lot of satisfaction. In line with that, it is the collaborations that we have as a college that are fostering a lot of growth and a lot of success and efficiency in terms of the way we do our work. And looking at the college in general, a lot of growth in terms of student numbers, in terms of facilities, and also in terms of even the complexity. The way we started, it was a simple, straightforward system, simple teaching methods that we knew these are the ones that are working, but as we went by, we have increased in terms of the kind of teaching methods that we are employing. And it is a school that is facing the challenges of the day, learning from them, and fashioning learning to address the challenges of the day. So I would say it is a school that is in the present. It doesn't work from the past, but it really uses the past to learn, but really addresses the challenges of the day.
The journey has been very interesting and very eventful, and I think the most interesting, even 10 years down the line, or moreover 10 years down the line, is that you start with an idea. And then you work out that idea on a piece of paper and you say, okay, maybe it can work. And then over the past 10 years, we have seen how an idea has worked and how we were able to kind of fulfill a dream of trying to build a college with higher quality education that we try to set up in a rural area. And it's working, and it's actually even working more than we could have dreamt. And then you look back and you say, hey, did we really plan for this, something to have grown like this? So it's been a very interesting. The good and the bad. The good is much bigger than the bad. And the good is that whatever the bad has been, the good is that we have a college with around 1,000 students, that we give for around 1,000 young Kenyans an opportunity to train and to grow, that we try to do it in the best way possible, that we have a very great team in the college of people who try to work towards that. I think that is great. And of course there's so many successes when you do your first graduation, when you're allowed by regulatory bodies to do something, when you receive visitors from outside, when you work together with the county and you see it starts to work. Those are all goods. The bads have all to do with that you first have to prove yourself, and in the beginning nobody believes that you can actually do something, and there's a lot of resistance. And of course the bads have to do with that growth doesn't come easy, so it's never only good, there are also always things that go wrong and that you have to rectify. We have had several memorable events that, you know, you see you become big enough for having the ambassador of the Netherlands coming to visit, to see what you do, for having the Minister of Health coming to visit to see what you do. One thing I really remember is the graduation of the first class, because always the first class is very special. So when they graduated and when we saw all the happy family members and everybody related to that, I think that was a real great memorable event. I think another real great memorable, I don't know whether to say event or generally moment, is when we were actually awarded a very big project with the Dutch government called the NUFIC project, under which we've been able to do so much, and that we had grown big enough to be able to manage such a thing. I think that is also really a memorable thing. Moreover, every time what I think is a memorable event is when we have graduations, because that means that you have another lot of students going out. So I think the graduations to me are still very memorable events. I would advise everybody to do something like that once in his life, to try to really make a dream work. That's what I would really advise. But for me to do the whole thing again, let me do this one well. And let me hand it over well to other people for the next 100 years.
Don't know about you, but this definitely deserves accolades. The school started with 12 students to now 1,000 plus students who are now in the new building. We ain't there yet, but good gracious, we ain't where we were. We acknowledge the dedication of all our staff, from the academics, admin, support staff, and even those who prepare sumptuous meals on occasions. Esther, Auntie Rosie, we see you. Those who were with us and left for greener pastures along the way, and those who've joined us to continue sailing this ship, we appreciate you all. So thank you for taking time to listen to what this amateur narrator had to say. It was my honor to broadcast this to you. Without further ado, everybody, raise a toast to celebrate the 10 years we've accomplished so far. Started from the bottom, now we're here. Narrator, signing off.